Hey, Rio's here.
RD4L, the biggest
Yes.
deal.
How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm hot as hell. But I'm doing fine. I'm glad I got you up here because I have a lot of questions for you.
Yes, let's have a good time.
Yeah, how you
Let's
been
give
doing
the viewers
today?
what they need.
Right. I'm allergic to piss and I don't really drink tea like that, so
Period. So I'm spilling liquor.
right. You look good today.
Thank you. This is kind of quick, y'all. Okay. I have my son with me. I'm on tour. This is kind of my only break that I had. So we had to make with what's due. I normally look
Mhm.
10 times better. Normally I have a face on, but it's all right. We'll work with what we got.
Oh, you look good. It doesn't matter. All right, so let's just jump right into it. So why don't you tell me who you are? Who's Rio?
Well, my name is Rio. I'm the CEO of Reckless Dolls Entertainment, which is a entertainment group that I manage. I get bookings for girls, boys, straight, gay, whatever the case may be. Whatever you do, sing, dance, um, pretty much anything that you do, I get bookings for you in any which way, how. I also run a catering business, which is called the Southern Touch. I've ran that business for now 5 years. I do all types of food. I'm well known for doing seafood down here. I also run Rio's Photography, which is the photography business that I do.
Oh,
Um, I'm just like your all around CEO. I put my hands in a lot of things to make a lot of money. So yeah.
okay. But before we get into the business aspect of things, why don't you tell me about your early life? How was it like growing up and where are you from?
I'm from East Texas. I'm from Tyler, Texas, to be exact. Born and raised there. I was there for all the way up until maybe middle school. Then I moved down to Frankston, which is like 25 miles from there. So it's more like quiet here. It's more like I have my own house here on a piece of land. Like it's more off to itself. Like Tyler's more of the city versus here.
Okay, so were you like popular in school?
I wouldn't say like I was like a jock, but I was popular. Like I was well known. Everybody knew who I was. Everybody like I turned up and partied with everybody. I was known for partying. Like that's what I was known for in school. So it was always
Oh,
that.
okay. So you have a son. So how is fatherhood for you? How's that been doing for you?
My son is now 6 years old. So nothing has really changed. I've always stayed with the same mindset of working. Even though I have a kid, I sometimes I bring him with me. Like I have to tag him along to this city or that city to film for Chase and Dallas or to do Reckless Dolls or anything like that. He of course he doesn't go into the establishments with me, but if he has to travel with me, I'll have someone watch him or anything like that. But I give him everything that I can. I, always provide for him and make sure that he has everything that he needs. I take care of my kid 4 days out of the 7 days that is in a week. So he's majority of the time with me. He's
Okay.
with me right now.
If
He's literally in the other room.
hey, Junior Rio. What? Um, if you don't mind me asking you, I don't want to get too personal, but what are the challenges of being like a father?
I think one of the biggest challenges that I have, and I feel as if it's because of the life that I chose, is being judged. I get judged for not only being a father, but being a gay father, being someone that used to date women too. So on top of running an entertainment group that is so much more adult content like, so it's like all of that, they judge me for all of that. And then it all like in a way like it wraps around me being a parent. Like I'm all no matter what I'm doing, where I'm at, I could be at a booking at the club. If I get a phone call from my baby mom or whoever's watching my kid, like you need to come get him, pick him up, something happened, I'm leaving all money, all everything to go to my son. Like I've always been there and been right behind him. But to answer his question, I feel like being judged is the biggest factor in being a father that plays. Like, it's so hard to be a parent for one, but to be a parent that is part of the LGBTQ community as well, it plays another role, another factor. It makes it a lot harder.
I want to get into the business aspect of your life. So you have the catering business called Southern Touch.
Yes.
Well, I want to call it Southern Cruise, but it's a Southern Touch catering. And I've seen your page. It has seafood, a lot of shrimps and stuff. So, like, how did that come about?
The Southern Touch, the name came because I'm from the South, Texas, part of the South. Um, But the Southern Touch, I really was at home. I love seafood. I've always been a fan of seafood. I drive down to New Orleans, Louisiana, Shreveport all the time just to go eat seafood and crawfish and shrimp and all of that. So, me living 2 hours from there, I got tired of driving so damn much to go get good ass seafood. So I was like, fuck it, let me try to make my own. So that's exactly what I did. Like, I kept on watching videos, mixing shit up in the kitchen. I wound up driving down to New Orleans and got to actually work with someone in the kitchen and get mentored a little bit, about how to make this sauce and that. So I wound up coming up with my own Southern Touch sauce, and it's the seafood sauce that goes on all things seafood, even regular meals like steak and stuff like that. You can put it on there. Like, it's good as shit. It's really butter, just with seasoning in it. Like, that's really what it is. But
So good right now. I'm not even exaggerating because I love me some seafood.
yes, and I sell it in jars. Like, so people that don't want, like, they want to make their own boil or whatever they do at home, and they just need that sauce or that butter to go on top of that boil. I mean, because you go out to a
Mm.
restaurant or anything like that, you're probably gonna get some plain ass butter with a pack of seasoning on the side, and that's what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? But like with me, all that season, all that flavor, all that butter, it's all mixed into that seafood boil. So yeah, like, it's gonna hit. And
You
then
make
some
mac and
flavors,
cheese too?
huh?
You know how to make mac and cheese too?
Yeah, I make seafood mac and cheese. It's on my menu.
Oh,
Yes.
come to Texas. Just let me know when they're gonna hit up at your restaurant, or I'm just
Come
call
to
your food.
Texas.
I'm
Uh,
so serious. I'm not even saying this to hype you up. I love me
no,
some
yeah.
seafood, macaroni and cheese seafood.
And if you see my page, like you said you have, my shit looks good. Like, outside looking in, if you never had it, you're gonna look at my page. Like, y'all can follow me on my Instagram, King Rio, and you'll see all my shit. Like, my food is A1. I do all types of food too. I can really throw down in the kitchen. I've done this for a long time.
I believe you. So I want to get into the Reckless Doll situation. So how did the Reckless Dolls business come about?
Reckless Dolls, me and my best friend were literally just chilling in the house. Like, we do a lot of trail rides down here. If you're from East Texas, then you know what a trail ride is. If you're from the South, anything like that, they all do trail rides. A trail ride is basically a group of individuals. You go to a party together, and you all bring ATVs, four wheelers, horses, trailers, and you just load as many people up in your group that you can bring, and we all come out and we ride out together and party together, and it's just like a big ass bachelor party. So with us always going to trail rides, I wanted to have my own group. I was like, I'm tired of going to a group, going to a trail ride and not having a group. So me and her was like, fuck it, let's make our own group. So originally, me and her started the Reckless Dolls, but I wound up taking over it all and taking full responsibility of it. And now we turned it from being just a trail riding group to now entertainment group, to where in East Texas, yeah, we do trail rides, but outside of that, we are here to entertain. Like, we do so much more than just that.
Okay. So I want to talk about this controversial thing where people are feeling like the Reckless Doll thing is just more so of an exploitive thing. How do you feel about hearing that about your business?
It really don't bother me, to be honest. Like, all publicity, good or bad, is going to get us more known. I will say, Reckless Dolls Entertainment, it is an adult, entertainment. Like, it's not something that you're not gonna have these girls come to your child's birthday party and serve them food. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something like that. Like, we throw parties for y'all to bring the adult out. Now, as far as the people saying that like I'm a pimp and they're a bunch of hoes and this and that, like, that's not the case at all. We literally go to clubs to host clubs. We will go to other clubs because some of the girls are strippers. So I'll call around and get them in a strip club to get them to dance, and they'll go and dance. We're not out hoeing. I mean, we're working. Like, that's a job. Like, being a stripper is a job. That is a sport. Like those girls are strong as fuck. Like, some of the strongest girls I know are exotic dancers. So it's like we ain't selling no pussy, but we making money.
Even if that was the case, I mean, everybody grown, and on top of that, we're not gonna act
I
like
mean, if
everybody
the
just
bitches
trying to
are
lay down
selling
with you.
pussy, that's them. Like, they grown.
Right. So thank
But
you for
on the
clearing
Reckless
this
Dolls,
up.
you cannot message me and say, "Can I buy this girl's pussy?" or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't. You cannot. No, that is not what we do. That for sure is not what we do. Like, we here to have a good time and turn up some parties.
Okay. Do you feel like that type of narrative like affects your business in a way, and how does that affect you?
It doesn't affect my business in any way, to be honest, because even with me getting clubs, and so at this point, no shade, I got more calls now than I did before because of the feedback that they gave, or they want to say that I have this, I have that. Okay, these clubs are calling because they need girls like that. They need girls that are willing to come dance or whatever to make money. So yeah, we're getting booked even more now because of it. So it hasn't
Okay.
stopped in any motion for me.
Okay, I hear that, and that's how it should be. Because it's not easy running a business, especially being the CEO of stuff, and you got like multiple businesses. It's not easy. So my last
Yeah.
question to the business aspect is running all those businesses together. Like, what is your advice to somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur, who is an entrepreneur, who you know doesn't really see through the light? Like, what do you have to say to those people as a person who runs all those multiple businesses? For anybody that has hardships running into, or spirals, it doesn't work out.
Right. I feel like my advice for you, if you was to start your own business, is to be confident within yourself. Know what it is that you are selling or offering, you know, and take full ownership of everything, and promote the fuck out of yourself. Nobody is going to know you unless you promote who you are. I tell that to my girls all the time, because even though the Reckless Dolls is booked as a whole, there are individual women, men that are, entertainers that do this, that do that. You're out here in these spots, promote who you are. My name is so and so. I'm a male dancer, and I would like to go dance at your club or your spot, even when I'm not with the Reckless Dolls. They do that all the time, and they get their own bookings. So my thing is, if you want to start your own business, you have to just be fully invested into it. Don't give up. It's gonna be hard. No, ain't nobody told you it was gonna be easy. Making money is not for the weak. Like, you got to be out here really hustling and grinding to get it to where it's at. And everything that I have, I put full motion behind it. I've worked very hard to get to where I'm at. The Reckless Dolls is this well known, and they've only been in the game for a year now. Like, just imagine where we would be 5 years from now if we're already here right now. Keep on promoting and keep on putting yourself first and your business first, and you'll get to where you need to be.
You thinking about in the future when we all get old and have gray hair, are you thinking about passing this down to your son for him being the owner of what you left behind as a legacy or take over?
Um, if Reckless Dolls, or the Southern Touch, Rios
All of
Photography,
them.
anything, yeah, if anything like that continues to grow like it is, and it say keeps on getting bigger and bigger, I will of course pass that down to him. It will not be something that he has to do. If he chooses to turn that money over and sell all my businesses and keep that money to create his own something, I'm more than happy with that. Like I just want whatever I have to be given back to him.
I hear that. That's a good business strategy. That's a good business move. That really is. And I hope you keep up doing that too. And I am going to try that Southern Touch catering though.
Yes, order
Best
some
believe I
sauce.
am.
I will ship you some sauce, some seasoning. I have seasoning packs too. I'm gonna have a website come out that's gonna have all of that. I have merch, shirts, shorts, all of it. I'll ship you all of it. Get
Oh
you a
yeah,
little
I mean,
Southern
my
touch
mom's a chef.
sauce.
My mom's a chef too, so she uses seasoning. So we gonna try that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get me a T-shirt too. I'm gonna try to look. Make sure you send me that link for the T-shirts and stuff too.
I'm gonna have to get my website up already because I've already got it, but I ain't got it started. I'm too busy on this tour. We're on tour right now.
Making
We
money,
just
bills gotta be paid, and you do something
Yes,
that you love. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
that's right.
So now we're gonna shift gears, and I want to get into chasing reality. So, what made you wanted to do chasing reality? How did you even find out about chasing reality?
I started watching Chasing Reality on YouTube. I think I was really just scrolling and seeing it. I really don't remember how I even came about Chasing Reality, but I don't know. Like it was in Dallas, and I'm not far from Dallas, so I was like, hell, it's a great opportunity for me to expand myself, grow myself, and why not put myself in a room that I normally would not. I'm normally not around a bunch of LGBTQ people. Like I don't hang around groups like that normally. So I was like, let me be outside of my comfort zone on top of grow myself and my businesses. So I auditioned and shout out to Markel because he picked the real one.
Okay. So, being on TV, has there been anybody from like high school or any childhood friends or people that you know of for a long time, but you're not like in their clique? Have they ever hit you up like, I saw you on TV, or oh, I see you on TV doing this and the third? Like, and if so, how does that make you feel?
Um, okay, I will say before TV, I was already getting recognized in my city just because of the stuff that I was already out here doing. So since I graduated, I've been getting recognized. I feel like now that I've been on TV though, like yeah, there's been a couple people that came up to me and was like, "Oh, I seen you on TV and this and that." So I mean, it feels good, to get appreciated and to be, respected like I am.
Okay, that's good. So when we were first introduced to you with episode one of Jeff's Pink Party, and you were speaking with Rachel and you were speaking with Tadley, and then Glenn walks in and you were so happy to see him. In the midst of that, Donnie appears at the party and him and Jeff have this sparring back and forth. It goes outside, it just turns into this whole disaster. And then towards the end, you come outside and was like, do you need that? Anybody need that? And then you like give the whole back his contract. So how did you feel now watching all that back in that moment?
In that moment, I still stand on that. I mean, even though I have moved on from that and we are good now, watching back,
Mhm.
looking back, I still would have done the same exact thing. I didn't, step in for Jet. It had nothing to do with him. It had also to do with me. Like that was me. Like that was my time that I came. Like it was a great event. We were about to have a good time. Like why would you go and not only fuck up my time but everybody else's time over some small shit or some shit that you could have handled in the street if you was really like that.
Okay. So next scene is when we see you meeting with the Reckless Dolls. You got on your all pink. By the way, you guys look good. And you got
Thank
these pink
you.
jackets on. You sit down, you have a conversation with them. And you're like, this is what we need to do. This with bulletproofs. And this is the first time that we've seen you actually chasing your business. And you had a very, niche of what you wanted it to be and was trying to tell the girls and give them also not just advice, but also uplifting them like, hey, we do this and we do that. And just like you said earlier, like put yourself out there, make something of yourselves. Like this is a business,
Right.
but you have to be high standards. So in that scene, doing that, how did that make you feel? And watching it back, what do you think about now to this day?
Watching that back is also real because some of those dolls are no longer with my group anymore. A couple of them are now finna be moms, like they are pregnant. So like watching it back, it's just like I still stand on, everything. I feel like I mentor the girls very well. Like I'm more so like their big brother that they never had. Like I'm always gonna be there. I'm always gonna be around. Like I told them, like anytime y'all are ever in need or in help, like I'm always there. Like at the end of the day, we're gonna be known as someday, sometime. It might not be right now, but our time is coming. Your time is coming. Like just don't give up. And I feel the same. Like everything that I look back, yeah, I feel like I handled it very well. I feel handled it like a CEO would, like I sat them down and had a great conversation as a boss would, and all the girls were on the same page moving forward.
And then the thing that I liked about that scene as a viewer watching was the fact that even though you got a little bit caught up in the mess before, but the thing that I like about it is that when you guys come on the scenes, it makes up for it because you guys actually come on and you were just on business. Like this is what I want. And it's like you gave us feisty Rio and you gave us business Rio. You gave us all around Rio. So it's just like,
Right.
wow, this dude's really on his business.
Period.
So there was a scene that you weren't there for that Zesty, Glenn, Donnie, and Mother was at. And Donnie and Zesty had a back and forth where Zesty made fun of Donnie's forehead and Donnie had said a deportation comment. So going towards the vision board, Donnie and him are having an argument, and then you take Donnie outside to talk about it and say, "Hey, I don't like what you said about the deportation comment." You sat there and you kind of was just like letting him, speak. You didn't get all riled up and stuff because there's two sides to every story, but you
Right.
still staying firm on that. So, how did you feel about watching that back and going into that scene? Did you have intentions of turning up on him, or did you just say like, "I'm gonna do this a different way"?
Okay, so watching it back is completely different. I feel like I feel different than how it was like on I don't know, okay. In the time that I was there, and I had wound up getting a phone call from Zesty. It was after he had said what he said. And he was like, he's speaking on our race and this and that, the culture, yada yada. And then to hear it again from Mother whenever we were at that club or that bar or something like that, whenever he told us and Jet, that was it was just gave amp to the fire. So whenever I showed up to the Envision board party, I showed up that day to fight. I was going to fight him that day. I had already let everybody know I was going to put hands on him that day, but I wanted to hear what he had to say too. You know what I'm saying? I've always gonna hear you out before I just beat the shit out of you. So when I sat him down, I wanted him to say it out of his mouth. Yes, I said it, you know what I'm saying? And just take full ownership for it. Like if he was to do that, then I was like, okay, then I could, be okay with it, but moving forward, I just don't want to hear it. So whenever I sat him down and he was like, I said it, but we were going back and forth, and it was this and that. Like he had said stuff about me, and I had said stuff about him. At that point in my head, it becomes more so of a one on one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, that's y'all shit. It has nothing to do with me. So that's why I was just like, okay, like I can move forward, whatever, but I just don't want to hear about deportation or anything like that. Like, let's not talk about this topic no more. Like, I don't feel like it's good for the viewers, good for the camera, good for who we are. If you're not racist, I'm not racist. Let's not just speak on it no more. So then that's where it was until it wasn't there no more.
Speaking of, the next scene that we see you in was the whole confrontation you had with Donnie physically. You guys were at Taco Tuesday, and then it gets brought outside, and this whole thing's happened with the group. And then Kelly had asked him about the deportation comment, gets brought up again. And then this time, Donnie doesn't really feel, he doesn't really care. So then that, makes you feel some type of way because you guys already had that conversation. And then you guys had this back and forth. He's yelling at you. The group is kind of surrounding him. You get ready to take off your jewelry, you take off your wristband or your watch. I'm sorry. And then he's talking to somebody and you just throw him up, bow, hit him. Y'all start fighting. He's pulling your hair, punches are thrown, and then it gets broken up. And I want to know, looking back at that scene, versus now, I mean, versus at that time, how do you feel about that whole confrontation and where it went?
I feel like because of the group that we were around, like there being so many people around us, that it escalated bigger than what it ever should have been. I felt like if there was a conversation to be had of just me, Jet, Zesty, Donnie, maybe Donnie bring mother or Chloe, just to even it out or whatever the case may be. But we actually sat out at a table, not at a club, outside the club where people's been drinking, people's been turning up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you do, like, of course, all of that is going to play a factor in the reason why we fought. Like, there isn't just like, oh, I fought for this. No, like, alcohol was involved. There was people around you. You don't want to look like a punk in front of other people. You know what I'm saying? And then whenever he called me out and he pointed directly at me and told me to shut the fuck up, like at that point, all bets were off. Yeah, I'm gonna take my jewelry off. Like at this point, go ahead and square up. Like, cause I'm done arguing with you at this point. Looking back at it, I wish it never got that far. I wish I never put hands on him because looking at him now, he is not a person. You know what I'm saying? That is a racial person. So I wish we could have just had a conversation versus the group and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Adding fuel to the fire. But I mean, there was a lot that was said that at that time that made a lot of emotions go up and people go up. So it was bound to
You
happen.
feel like the group do you feel like the group being around kinda influenced, like, everything that had went down, like, they were just no help?
Yeah, I really do. Because you have two or three, four people chiming in on one topic, or on really ultimately when it was just started between Donnie and Zesty. They were the first ones to actually have words back and forth about race or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So for that to be transpired into now the group, and then all the group getting involved and chiming in too. At that time, everybody was against Donnie. Like the only person that was on Donnie's side was Mother because of what he said. So it's like, yeah, I knew it was gonna happen. Like, I didn't think I was gonna be the one though. I was dressed too nice that day to fight. I was flying to Hawaii the next day. I did not
Mm.
expect to fight that day.
So my question is, who do you feel like that was in the mix that shoulda just stayed out of it and mind their business?
Me, to be honest. Me. I feel like I should have just stayed back. But me being who I am too, like I'm a ride or die. And if you're fucking with one of my friends, like bitch, you're fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, of course I'm gonna get that. And then whenever you call out the whole group, well, I'm part of the group. So go ahead and give me that.
The next group scene is with you and the whole group minus Donnie, and it's at Rachel's Valentine's Day event or get together. And Mother and Jeff have this sparring verbally back and forth. And you and Zesty are sitting on the side of him. And the way Jeff was kind of like having his way with Mother, a lot of people feel like, oh, he's only doing it because Rio and Zesty are here and this and the third. Do you feel like that's what he was doing, or do you feel like he was just legitimately sticking up for himself?
Who was sticking up for themselves?
When Mother and Jeff were having a back and forth at Rachel's Valentine's Day party where she told all y'all to dress up a certain color, she came in a different one, and you were there and Zesty was there, and that's when Jeff brought up his real name and called him by his name.
Uh huh.
And
Do I
then
feel like
Jeff was kind of and Jeff was doing all of this and that, and I was some people in the viewers feel like he only acted like that because you and Zesty were by his side. Do you personally feel like that?
no, I don't. I don't feel like I amp Jet up at all. Like he acts the way that he acts because of him. Like I was not trying to boost his energy or put a battery in that hose back. Like it was never that.
Okay. Because Mother feels that Jeff needs a crew, and he feels like when you and Zesty are by his side, he gets bold, and then he calls y'all like the Three Amigos and Musketeers or something. How did that make you feel at that time?
I personally don't like who Mother is. I think no. I don't fuck with anything that he got is saying. Like You for me, like, to put me in a box with Jet and Zesty is nothing against them, but I mean, I stand in my own lane. I do my own things. Like, I am Rio. I'm not a part of a musketeer or a Migo party or anything like that. Like, I am who I am, and I'm by myself.
So just to close out that situation, so overall of the Valentine's party, like how did you even feel now? Do you feel like, not to give you a leading question, but do you feel like I should have never went, or like how did you feel now looking
No,
back
I
at
think
that?
it was still good for me to go. I promoted my business to Southern Touch. I promoted my catering there. So I think it was still a great opportunity for me to have showcased, who I am, another chase of mine on this platform. Like, at the end of the day, it might have been some drama, but if you would look at the bigger picture, Rio is still out here promoting his brands and his businesses and his chase. So I feel like
You
it
just
was, like, I took it, like, I appreciated that honestly.
okay. So the next scene or the next situation is when you and Donnie meet up and you guys sit down. By the way, I love that blue vest you had on. You got to tell me where you got
Thank
that from.
you. Thank
Seriously. You sat down and then he sat down and he was taking accountability, basically owing you an apology that, there's no excuse for what he did and that he shouldn't have said it to you because it was the other way around. And you kind of were sitting there just like taking it in, like letting him say his piece. You didn't get mad, you didn't get rowdy, you didn't flip the table, you didn't hop at the table, snatch him up. You kind of were just like happy and just calm and just like, okay. So in that scene, how did you feel when you sat down and hearing him basically take accountability? What did you think was going to happen?
I knew he was going to apologize. I had already known, like, and I wanted to give an apology back, to him. I feel like me and his issue was never big enough to keep on going. So whenever he asked to have that sit down and to squash it and let it be over, I was more than happy to do that. I don't go on in life having, what is it, like, people that I beef with or anything like that. I don't have vendettas and stuff like that. I don't keep grudges. Like, it is what it is. I can move on from it, and I'm really glad that at that point in that scene, both of us, I felt like, grown. Like, we both, after that, moving forward, we're in other scenes together. We're, what I'm saying, we're in our rooms together. Like, it just shows, like, to me, it's more so like, Evelyn and Tammy Roman. Like, I feel like that's what it is. Like, them hoes gonna fight, but they actually, they good now. So
Um, so you have mentioned that you said in the conversation that you felt where Donnie was coming from because you felt like that when you were growing up, you felt like you weren't Mexican enough to fit in with the Mexicans or the Latinos, and then you felt like you weren't white enough to fit in with the white culture. Do you still feel like that now?
yes, I've always felt like that. Because I'm mixed with Hispanic and white. So my Hispanic side of the family, they do speak Spanish. Like, some of them are from Mexico. So with me, like, I'm from here, I'm not from Mexico, and then my Spanish is not really all there. Like, it's half and half. So I feel like going around them, like, like, not knowing Spanish and being inside of a Mexican family is like, you gonna get picked on for that. And then my white side, hell, no shade, no tea. I'm just too ghetto for them. Like, that's just what it is.
It's all right. So I want to bring up this controversy moment. There was a controversial moment where you have posted a sign. You didn't say it out your mouth, but there was a sign that had said Mexican or niggas too. And you explained it on TTB, but now looking back at it, how does that feel? And what do you have to say about that now?
Looking back at it, I would have never posted that. Me being someone that is new to this, new to being a public figure, um, I thought it was okay, and me thinking that it was okay is wrong too. Because I should have never thought that it was okay. I blame myself. I blame, even the people that hang around me, and the people that help bring me up, because it's like, why didn't you just ever tell me that could be wrong, or that could be viewed wrong. So
Mhm.
I feel like, looking back, I regret it. I would have never done that. Moving forward, I'm not gonna do something like that. Like, clearly, it's not a good look. So
Was
yeah.
the message so the message, if I'm not mistaken, some of the viewers feel like the message was basically saying, like, because of the whole deportation comment that Donnie made, and then all of this going around with ICE, and you know what's going on. Some people feel like the message was mostly about, like, you were basically saying that, "Hey, we're not white and we're not black, but we go through some similar struggles with black and brown folks. Maybe not as much because we are lighter skinned, but you know, we face burials too." Is that what
And
you were trying to say?
that's exactly what I was trying to say. That I was exactly trying to say that, because with the, what I'm saying, like, with everything that we're going through, it's like, why fight each other? Why not stick together? That was more so, like, hell, we're all of a brown or black shade. You look at the crayon box, we all right there at the end. Like, why not
Mhm.
us stick together instead of, what I mean, be fighting each other? And I hate that on this season that it made it look like we were black versus Mexican, because that was not the case at all.
Let me ask you something, because this has been going on a lot on the panels and stuff. Do you feel like this season was overshadowed by like the racial stuff that's been going back and forth with the cast members?
Most definitely. But the thing is, the racial stuff was not going back and forth with the cast members like that. Like, whenever we were around each other, we hung out with each other, and we were together. We was not arguing because you're black, or we're arguing because you're Mexican. Like, no, like, that was never. That's why, looking back at it and seeing, like, how it's played out is, like, crazy to me, because, like, no, that's not how it was. Like, I don't know.
Because there are some people who are black that have said on panels like, I get that he could have posted a different way, but some people are like, I don't really take offense to it because it's like I got what he was saying, but then it's also like this whole season, and I'm not trying to, what's that word? Shield anybody, but it was
Uh,
just like, okay, well, he admitted he was wrong. He seems sincere. I think you're sincere. I kind of knew what you were saying when you said that when you posted that. Maybe just the wrong way, but I'm not an
right,
idiot. And then like if we're gonna be real, and I really don't care who feels some type of way about this, because there was a lot of people that was like, "Oh, why are these Latinos on the show?" And y'all got called tacos, burritos. Some of y'all cast members have called y'all names Mexicans in the deportation comments. So it's like, where's the outrage in that?
right. We
And this is
were
and,
like,
and I
no
remember
shade,
you
no tea.
and you said
Me
something
and
in the confession where you were like, and now if I was to say something about y'all community, I would have been dragged.
and there would have been uproar, and bitches would be down my throat. And that's exactly why that post that was made, it wasn't because of that. But whenever the post got made, and I look back now of all the uproar and all the shit that's down my throat now, it just makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get why someone else can make a comment towards Mexicans and it not be, what is, like, recuperated or whatever, the same way.
Reciprocated.
Yeah, the same way as me making a comment towards black people.
I agree, to be honest. Well, there's no need to keep beating a dead horse. You apologize.
Right,
Other
yes.
people have
I'm
said
not a
things that
racist.
we know you're not a racist. It's just a mistake.
Jesus.
Other people have said things to y'all, and nobody has been in uproar about that. So it's just like, but moving on. So you, Jet Jeff, and Zesty meet up because you were looking for a place to book your event for the Reckless Dolls and stuff, and you wanted their opinion. And in the midst of that, Dusty starts speaking to Jeff and starts pouring how he feels about how he feels like he doesn't support him and that he feels like he's fake. And then you chime in and you felt some type of way about you heard that Jeff made a comment saying that you were out begging people to buy your fish plates and that you had said that, basically I'll whoop your ass. Like, don't play with me. Like, we supposed
Right.
to be cool. Like, all that jab that you doing. Like, so what made you guys wanted to just confront him right then and there?
So Zesty and me have gotten really close on this season. I never knew him prior to this, but on this season, like we wound up getting really close. So we would always call each other like, "Hey, so and so said this about you. So and so said that about you." But and we always would check it. Now that was just something that just got aired, but with Jet, it was more so because I didn't know nobody coming on here, but you were the only person that has actually met me in person, whether it was at a motherfucking LGBT party, whatever. You still acknowledge who I was. You see my chain with my name on it. You know who I am. You know what I'm saying? You see my face. So me walking into this, I was like, at least I know of one person already. And then to hear that you think I'm out here begging people to buy a seafood plate is like crazy because I think of begging people, and I just think of people like homeless people that are on the street. Like we help them all the time, but I'm not begging like that. I'm not. You don't see me on the street. You don't see me on a corner. I'm not doing none of that shit. Like I'm literally sharing my stuff to my story and promoting it, and ask people to buy a seafood plate. And I don't feel like that's begging. So yeah, I did take offense to it, and I felt like the reason why I took offense to it is because like I feel like it hurt my feelings. Like you were degrading, who I was as a person, as a business owner. Like you feel as if I need to beg someone to buy something for me is insane because I never needed that. And you wanna claim that we're friends and this and that. Why not be a friend?
Here's the thing. There has been so many cast members on all these shows from Chasing, Zeus, Now That's TV. Well, they do too much on Now That's TV. Real Housewives, Love and Hip Hop. They do this thing where they get in the green screens and they feel like they had to say some things to spice it up to give personality. So now looking back at it, do you feel like it was kind of just like, okay, well, he probably did it just to try to be funny to spice it up a little bit as like a joke? Or do you feel like, oh no, he was trying to play with me, where you could have called me on the phone and been like, hey, I said this about you, but I don't mean it like they was just the little kiki.
I feel like he probably was trying to be jokeful and try to be playful with it, and that's why he was like, "Oh, I guess he is begging in his confessional." So it's like, but in the same sentence, if you are telling everybody, no, I never said that, I never said that, then why go back in your confessional and then repeat it? You know what I'm saying? If you never said it, like, why not just stick to, you know what, I didn't say it, like, and just be truthful to who you are. Like, why come inside a confessional and lie to spice shit up or try to be messy? Like, bitch, you're gonna get fucked up in the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might be able to play with a lot of bitches, but I'm not the bitch to play with at all. Like I don't care if that hoe don't know how to fight or don't like to fight, the case may be. That mouth fights like it wants to. So back that mouth up that it has.
I have seen some lives and some stuff, and some cast members and other people have been saying that they heard that you and Zesty set that scene up because you or Zesty were planning on throwing a plate at Jeff Jeff's face. Is that true?
Hold on. Some of that is true. So the scene was actually not like a setup. That scene was actually put in. I was gonna go and I booked that place, so I was already looking at the place. I was already in Dallas. I was already gonna go look at the place, anyways. And I was like, well, fuck it, let's just make a scene out of it. So I went ahead and told production to go ahead and pull up and film me and Kelly being there, and me, Kelly, and Zesty being there. So while we were there, we were filming everything like that. I wound up telling Jet a few hours before then. I was like, hey, could you come today and just come see this with me? Knowing already what he, has said about me begging for a seafood plate. And knowing now who Jet is, I should have thrown that motherfucking plate in his face. Because I went and made a whole seafood boil plate. It had shrimp, corn, potatoes, sausage, eggs, smothered in Southern Touch sauce, all of that. And yeah, that hoe was finna eat every motherfucking thing that apparently I was begging for. So that's exactly what it was gonna happen. And he knows that because After the cameras ended, I showed him the motherfucking plate, and I said this was finna go in your face. I told him that to his face. So yeah,
What made you not do it?
I
Not
didn't
saying I
do it
wanted you to
because,
do it, but
huh?
not saying that I would like encourage you to do it, but like what made you not want to do it?
Because I know me and me, I'm not a person that really is confrontational. You know, like I don't like to fight. I don't like to, you know what I'm saying, like argue all the time. I want to get my point across and hear what you have to say. Now, if you keep on playing on my top and you keep on fucking with me, then yeah, I'm gonna do you in and fuck you up. I never said I don't know how to fight. I just said I don't want to fight. So the
Oh,
reason why I
okay.
didn't do it because I didn't want it to escalate and get to that point to where I had to throw something in your face. I wanted you to just come in and say, no, I didn't say it, or yes, I did say it. You know what I'm saying? If you saying you didn't say it, you still could have said, I didn't say it, you know, or I don't know if I said it, but if I did say it, I'm already going to apologize, you know, because I don't mean it like that. But you didn't say none of that. Like you just said, no, I never said that. And whoever said that is lying. That's why I said, oh, well, Zessie said it. He's right here.
Mm, speaking of zesty, the group scene at your event for the Reckless Dolls, which looked like a fun event. You invited the whole cast, and everybody's having a good time. There's food, there's drinks, the girls are doing their thing, the boys are doing their thing. You seem like you're having a good time, checking in on everybody. And fast forward, everybody goes outside and they have this conversation. Zesty comes back in and tells you, hey, girl, they out there talking about you and A, B, and C. So you come outside and you're like, okay, well, what was said? Like, what's going on? So then Zetsy's
Right.
like, well, they're saying this and the third, that this is plate from Walmart, this is cold, and this and the third. So you like, okay, well, Zesty, come here. Who said it? So when you sitting there in the dressing, you got Chloe, Rachel, Robert, Mother, Glenn was there. I believe Glenn was there.
No, he
Jayla
wasn't
was
there.
there. Jayla was there. So some other people. So you was just like, who said it? So then Robert starts speaking, and then you and him have this conversation, and then Rachel starts speaking. You and her have this conversation, and then you go on the green screen and like, well, Rachel, you the same type of bitch that don't even show up in the right colors, and you tell everybody else to show up in a different color. So who are you to speak? And then Zesty and Mother once again had this verbal sparring back and forth. So you basically went out there and was just checking people like, hey, whoever said it, step up, and if you don't, then don't come in like trying to. I can take criticism, but it's just like don't come in here and trying to drag my food. So in that moment, when Zesty came in, what did Zesty actually say to you verbatim?
So I was literally in the back. Like I was actually making somebody a plate and taking it to them and cleaning up after them. So when he came over to me, he this is what he said. He was like, "I just want to let you know not to trust every bitch a part of the cast." And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" And he was like, "I'm just saying, don't trust everybody." And they was outside talking about you. And I was like, "Hold on, who was talking about me? Like what the fuck?" And he was like, I just don't think it's big enough to make a scene right now at this event. You know, it's your event. Like, don't make a big scene. He told me that. He was like, don't make it a big scene. So I walked off. Me and him walked off. I was just like, okay, whatever. Fuck it. Let's just have fun. So we walked. I took 2 steps. Within those 2 steps, it clicked in my head. Don't take shit from nobody. So within that moment, I went right outside and I said, "Fuck it, no." What bitch said what? So I mean, he never said like, "Oh, so and so said this about you." He never said a specific name. So when I went out there, I was everybody having fun. You know, everybody having a good time. Did y'all enjoy the food? You know, is there anything I can get y'all a drink? Whatever. Everybody was good. So then, why the fuck am I hearing so many damn complaints? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I gave the floor to you, why not say right then and there? Well, I didn't like this. I think this is cold. This wasn't good. I gave you the floor, and all you said was fine.
How did you feel about like them just not? They were responding back, but it's kind of like they were just kind of like, well, we didn't say this, we didn't say this, and Zesty's like, so he's like, say what you said. Butler jumps are like, well, I could tell you what I said, and then Jay was like, well, I could tell you what I said. So who do you feel out of that group actually was being honest and stepping up and standing on what they said versus who wasn't?
Jayla and Mother, and I know for sure, like Lamont, he didn't say nothing about it. You know, like Lamont, he cool with me. Um, I feel like Rachel, even though she said, "Oh, I said the cupcakes were from Walmart," you know what I'm saying? Girl, you don't even have a pot to piss in. Why are you talking about somebody else, anyways? So I feel like, I mean, the ones that stood up, I mean, I feel like they said what they said. Now that's why I just said, that's why I said I can take criticism very well. You could have just told me, how you felt. And as far as the cupcakes and shit like that, I didn't even get paid for that. I got paid for bringing the wings and the fucking veggies and the sliders and shit like that. I went to Walmart that same day, yes, 30 minutes before there, and was like, let me pick up these cupcakes to be nice to bring to the Valentine's party. Their Valentine's cupcakes. I was like, let me pick them up and decorate them and whatever, and that'd be an extra thing that I brought. Bitch, y'all acting like I paid for that. Like you paid for me to bring cupcakes to the venue. Like I'm a fucking baker. Do I look like Carlos Bakery in this bitch?
So that scene ends, and I just want to just ask. I want to ask about some cast members real quick.
Okay.
What is your opinions, and if so, what problems do you have with Mother?
I have one problem with Mother, and if Mother can address this problem, and take accountability for it, and even just understand why I have an issue, we can move forward and be great. But my problem is you put me in a box with other people and you did never had an issue with me personally, but you grouped me with people that you already had a problem with. I feel as if that is wrong. You should have just looked at me for who I was, got to know me for who I am, instead of grouping me with other people because you have a problem with them.
Okay.
So that's why I can't give you the respect because the respect was never given to me.
Okay. What
You
about
can't ask
Rachel?
somebody to call you by a nickname if you ain't even giving them respect inside a room.
Mm. What about Rachel?
Rachel has showed her true colors. Not to me, but to other cast members. And I felt like just looking at that, it's really just not somebody that I want to just, involve myself with. I'm not saying she's a bad person or anything like that. I fully support whatever she does, and, she supports me. I'm sure if she don't, it's okay too, But I'm just like, there's a lot of things that she has said, a lot of co-signing and subliminal shit, and I just feel like all that small shit just adds up. And if you feel that way so much about me, then yeah, moving forward, I don't have to be cool with you.
Because even watching it, like I noticed her and Zesty have this thing. Like it just seems like she just doesn't like Zesty. Zesty don't really care for her. She even said in the green screens, like, Zesty being like a little bitch to Rio, like what was he supposed to do or something like that. And like, how do you feel about you can't speak for Zesty, but looking as a viewer, looking as the outsider, how do you feel like do you feel like they're gonna clash?
Yes, most definitely. I mean, I would, if I was in his shoes, like I would, So even him and her though, like he comes for her too in his confessionals. So I mean, just as much as he would be mad, she should be mad too. Like y'all both come for each other.
Right. I want to ask you this because I don't think nobody's ever asked you. How do you feel about Rachel like saying like how she's from New York and she do all this and she do all and she fighting this and then the third and like how do you feel about that being around her? Like is she really as tough as she say or is she just like
No, mother active is deactive. She is not activated. I mean, if the bitch is activated, she wasn't activated this season. I mean, it was on deactivate. That's what it was on. Cause I mean, no shade, no tea, but Chloe had checked her first go around. Was like, bitch, I beat your ass. Ain't no bitch telling me that you whoop my ass. I don't care. Like, it's not like that. And then for both of them to say like, oh, they won the fight. How y'all both gonna say y'all won? Make it make sense.
Mhm. I don't think you have a problem with her. I think it's more so with Zesty, but I want to say Chloe. Are you and Chloe cool?
I don't really know. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess not because I thought we were, but I guess not. Just outside looking in.
Okay.
But
So, I want to talk about the reunion real quick. I know it's coming up soon. I don't know what's going on that production. I don't know when it's happening. Going into the reunion, what is your mindset of what you want to accomplish? Who you want to address, and are you gonna throw hands if it comes to it? And if so, who are you gonna gun for, and why?
okay, so first, if I go to the reunion, because I am on the skirts of not going, just
Why
because
not?
I just don't feel like I don't know. I just don't feel like there's anything more to be said. I feel like at this point they all feel some type of way about me, and I don't owe them anything. There is not nothing that y'all gave to me. And I'm not speaking on chasing reality. I'm speaking on the cast. Um, for what? If y'all say you gave me a storyline, you gave me this, you gave me that. Okay, then carry on with your reunion without me, and let's see where you go. Because I want you to take Rio out of this season and tell me what season it would have been.
Word has been going around that you had some opponents that you wanted to go up against, and one of them was Jet Jeff. Um,
I wanted to
knowing that
slap Jet, but because of the shit that he said. But I'm not gonna put hands on nobody. I will say that if I do go to the reunion, I'm not going to the reunion to put hands on nobody. But I promise you this. If I feel disrespected to the point to where I've had enough, on my soul, I'm going to put hands on somebody because that's just how I am. But walking in there, I want to take accountability for, the thing that I reposted. I want to take accountability for that. I want to sit down with Donnie and apologize for him face to face for actually putting hands on him and it getting that far. I want to have a sit down with Mother. I want Mother to explain to me why you just don't like me so much. Why would you put me in a box and not actually get to know me? And moving forward, would you get to know me if I was to come back? You know, I want to I want to get to know Jayla, Lamont. I want to get to know them more. So it's like I'm not coming to the reunion on a fighting, stream or anything like that. Like I'm not coming to be rah rah. I'm actually coming to be the complete opposite. If I come, like I want to look good, be good, and just have fun, have a good time. Let's answer these questions. Let's get this over with. Like we can have dialogue. We can conversate. I never wanted to put hands on nobody, even with Jet. Like Jet, I just want you to take accountability that you might have not have said it or you might have said it, but either way, it looks bad, and just apologize for that. That's it. Like it's not that hard to look at something, know you're wrong, and just be like, I can see why that made you feel bad, or I can see why that hurts your feelings. My bad. It's just being human. Like we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all learn from them. I don't feel like it's worth fighting over though.
some cast members feel like, why have all this energy with Jet Jeff, but when it comes to people like Mother or Rachel, whoever, like you don't want to fight them. When Mother keeps coming at y'all neck, but y'all want to keep fighting Jeff. How does that make you feel?
Well, I think the reason why it bothers me with Jet is because I wanted, to have a really close bond with him on this season. Like I wanted us to really be iconic, like I feel like looking at me and Jet, like we look alike, so much. The world sees that, so why not be two stars that are fucking living it up? Like he do music, I party, like we could have collabed and did something major. So I feel like with him, like it just hurts more. Like it hurts my feelings more. With Mother and Rachel, I can go on my life with or without them, no shade. Like it's just, you know what I'm saying. Like I don't care for their, I don't know, like, you know what I mean. Like if we can be friends, that's great. If we, you don't want to be our friend, that's fine too. Like it's not, it's nothing. But with Jet, I would like to be friends with him moving forward. I would like for us to get over this hump and be fine.
Okay. Well, the last thing about it is like because you said you didn't want to go because I really feel like Sarge, you want to stay out of jail. I don't blame you. Um, but if Zesty ends up going, because I've heard and I've seen all the lives, I've seen reviews, I've seen people go up on panels and say some people is confirming they're throwing down. Like, so it's like Zesty, if he goes by himself and then they all gang up on him to the point where it could potentially be a fist out or shoot or whatever, how would that does that ever go through your mind like, okay, well, mother doesn't like him, Rachel don't like him, Chloe doesn't like him, they almost fought, so it's like and then you got other people who could just switch, like so does that ever think through your mind like, you know what, maybe I should go because if they get on my friend, like how do you feel about that?
No, it does, and I've had this conversation with Zesty and Kelly so much, you know, because I they go back and forth with me all the time. They want me to go so bad, and me, Zesty, and Kelly have gotten really close, and I've explained over and over and over that that is one of the biggest things that will regret if I choose to not go is that Zesty will be there and get ganged up on. You know, like that is someone that had my back and I had his. So I feel like that would play a factor in me and would really, it would get to me. Don't get me wrong though, I'm going to be in the city regardless. So if some shit was to go down, ain't nobody leaving untouched if you touch my bitch. I promise you that.
I think you should go because you got a story to prove, and you are half the storyline for the entire season. So it's not even about fighting, which is what people want to see. And then y'all get to fight, and they go and complain like, "Oh, there's phones, but y'all love Zeus. Let's not do that."
And that's the thing.
But
Like I don't want to fight. Like I'm telling you, like the reason why I really don't want to fight is because of like you know when you buy an outfit and it costs a lot of money, you don't want it fucked up.
you got a backup outfit with some Tims and some sports shoes.
Right, and that's the thing. We can't even dress how you know what I'm saying. Like we can't even dress how we want to. Like there is a dress code. So if I wanted to show up in a Lulu and a motherfucking forces, I couldn't even do that.
I think you have to fight. I don't think y'all should be fighting. I think y'all could talk it out.
I feel like it can be talked out. I feel like none of this shit is bigger than that. And if it's bigger than that, you can DM me now. You have my phone number. You have my information. Message me now. We can handle this shit right now. We can set it up. We can fight on camera, off camera, with the camera. I don't care.
And a lot of y'all, most of y'all have a lot to lose too. Like you got a business, you're a father.
Right,
Like
right.
that's
That's
why I see that's the bigger picture. It's just like
yes.
if I'm fighting, if I get locked up, it's gonna be for a reason because I got this little one here and I got him and I gotta go back home
Right.
soon. If anything happens to me and I end up in court for child support, I'm coming after y'all asses.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's a big reason why I don't want to go because if I'm the liability, you know, or I'm the person that people think, oh, that's the only one that's going to fire. That's the one that's going to, you know, do this, do that. I'm already telling you that I'm not coming on that. You know what I'm saying? But if people are coming for me on that, then I'm going to give that back. And my thing is like, once I'm already on go, I can't stop. There's not an
Thank you.
off switch. Like there's only an on. There's not an off. Like I'm telling you.
I hear you. I've seen. So, what is your reflection of your time on Chasing Dallas season 6, and do you think you'll return?
I loved everything. Like to be honest, if I was to get a phone call tomorrow from Markel and him say, "You're finna start chasing Dallas," you know, do it all over again, the same way it just went now, I would do it all over again the same exact way. The only thing I would change is I would make that post though. But everything else I would do the same way. Like I enjoy chasing. I enjoy chasing reality. I love Ondario. I love Markel. Like they are great producers. They, to me, they are great to work with. You know, and I appreciate everything that they have gave to me, and you know, offering me this panel to promote my businesses and to showcase who I am as a parent as a business owner, a CEO. I loved everything about chasing, and I would definitely do it again.
Okay, shout out to Endario Markel. So if there was an All Stars, because the web series, they need to have an All Stars. We got Bad Boys Club, we got the Come Up ATL, New York, Chasing LA, Chasing Dallas, Chasing Atlanta, On the Way Up. I'm throwing in all the shows. Um, if you were to go on an All Star shows with like 15 individuals from each show, would you go on to represent Chasing Dallas season 6 if we're to ask?
On my soul, I will represent Chasing Dallas season 6 the hardest. Like, if I was finna go on there against Chasing LA, Chasing Atlanta, and Chasing Orlando, we have all these different people. Oh, baby, I'm finna show y'all why you don't fuck with Texas. Because this is why.
Sure. So I want to play a little game with you before we end this, and I'm gonna say names, and you have to pick which one that you like more. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start with one. Popeyes or Zaxby's?
Popeyes.
I could like you because I would pick that too. Um, Burger King or McDonald's?
Neither. Oh, well, I have to pick one. Uh,
Yeah.
I guess McDonald's. I
I
don't eat
don't
fast food
know.
like that.
I stopped eating it too. I only eat Popeyes.
Yeah, I cook. I'm a chef. Sorry, y'all.
Chasing Orlando or Chasing LA?
Chasing Orlando.
The Come Up New York or the Come Up ATL?
The Come ATL.
Okay. Andario or Markel?
Uh, and
You won't
Dario.
get fired. I'm gonna make sure you don't. Trust me.
And Dario.
Okay. Zesty or Kelly?
Bitch. Ooh. I love them both, but Zesty.
Rachel or Mother?
Rachel.
Okay, Rachel or Chloe?
Rachel.
Chloe or Mother?
Chloe.
Donnie or Rachel?
Donnie.
Oh, surprising. Lamont or Robert Ray?
Robert Ray.
Jake Quan or Oliver Twix?
Hold on. Who's the first one?
Jake Quan, he was a cast member for season 3 of ATL and season 6. He's with Berlin, there We Were Born, the music group.
I don't know who he is, so Oliver Twix.
Okay. You know who Oliver is, but not Jake Quan.
I know, right?
Um, let's do this. Dominique or Rico Castanine?
Oh, I say Rico.
Hmm, I love Rico. Chef Pablo or Fly King Eye?
Chef Pablo.
Okay. What the hell is his name? Cali Boy or Andre?
Cali boy.
The official King Payne or Nicole Ray?
Nicole Ray.
TTB or YB Speaks?
TCB.
Okay, let's do this. Scotty by Nature or Fabian Juwan, which is me.
Oh. Leave me alone. Why you messing with me? Of course you done. You stupid.
Carl, Carl K Star or Jeremy Speaks?
I don't know who neither one of them are.
Yo, you don't watch the Chasing panel?
Not really. I watched the Chasing Dallas one, Chasing Orlando, a little bit of Chasing LA and Chasing Atlanta, but I don't really like go all into it like that. Like I do
Oh,
my
okay.
comes and goes. Like so that's why some people that you were saying like I know of them and I know like some stuff they do. I
Hmm.
follow them, so like that's why I know a little bit more people more than others.
Okay. Damn, I just had a good one in my head. Hold on, let me catch it. Okay. Hershey. Wait, is that his name? Not Hershey. What the hell is his name? Oh, Harvey or YB Speaks?
Is Harvey the one that's like Harvey Honor or something like that?
Yeah, Harviana.
Oh, then the other one.
Natalie Nunn or Tanisha.
Natalie
Natalie
Nunn.
Nunn or Tanisha Thomas.
Natalie Nunn. I mean, Tanisha, you're a bad bitch. You're an OG, but Natalie out here making real boss, but you're a real paper asshole. So yeah,
Well, Tanisha was just on what she's on House of Villains, so she just won 200 grand.
that's good for her. Natalie probably made that in her sleep.
Or okay. Now that TV or Zeus Network.
I want to get on both, but I have my steps.
I'm going with Zeus.
But
I'm sorry.
oh yeah, it's definitely up for Zeus. That's what I want because Zeus is
They got the
original as
quality, they
that.
got the money, and they
We
don't do
just party
too
with
much.
Diamond the Body. Reckless Dolls was just hosting with Diamond the
I
Body.
think. I
Yes, it was
think.
lit. Yeah, love
Okay.
that.
Okay, two more. The Young and Reckless cast of Now That's TV or the Reckless Dolls?
Reckless Dolls, is you cool?
Who you think will win in the fight if it came to that? Like, it was a versus like on Bad versus Wild.
And it was like Reckless, like my group versus Young and Reckless.
The Young and Reckless cast of season 3 on Now That's TV right now versus the Reckless Dolls. If Nick Cannon had y'all come on Bad versus Wild, who you think's gonna take it? Games, fights,
Oh,
all
we
that.
gonna take it. We gonna take it. We gonna be
Okay.
taking bitch. We come from the shoulders, and we some sneaking bitches.
Okay. Last one, Beyonce or Rihanna?
Oh, they gonna hate me for this. They gonna hate me. But Rihanna, I love me some Riri.
What?
Yes, I listen to Rihanna way more than I listen to Beyonce. Like No Shade No Tea. I feel like I don't know. I only know a couple songs about Beyonce. I really don't listen to her like that. But you have to understand, I'm not. I'm more of a Kevin Gates, a D baby. I'm more like rap, like music like that. Like yeah, like more gutter type.
So, and we've
I
reached
knew
the
y'all was gonna be
end.
mad. I knew y'all was gonna be mad.
And we've reached the end. Do you have any questions for me or anything you want to say?
No, I just want everybody to go and follow me at King Rio on Instagram. That's with two G's. Shout out to the Reckless Dolls, Southern Touch, Rio's Photography, and Chasing Reality because that's the reason why I'm here.
Last question officially. How did you think this interview went?
I think we good. I think you're cool. Like you somebody I can actually hang with. You know what I'm saying? Out, like in real life, like fucking interview, bitch. We can actually go do something. Like turn
Oh, I
up,
appreciate it.
party.
Everybody says that. Like even Chef Pablo and Devin, all them, everyone's like, oh, you gotta come to the I'm like, and it's funny because I was just
Yes.
in I had just went to I just came back from Atlanta doing the Boss Babe Awards, and I've met a
Oh.
lot of my YouTube peers who do like reviews, like Evie reviews. I've been knew who Scotty was. I finally met Dario. He's so sweet. Love Dario. Like can't nobody tell me
Yes.
nothing. Chef Pablo, I met him. It was a good night. They was shot. They ain't see the
Come
kid pop
to
out.
Dallas.
I'm
Come
gonna
to
try to
Dallas.
come to Dallas because I got friends in Texas. That's the thing, but some of them live in Houston.
I feel like too people need to understand Texas is spicy. It's high as fuck down here, so we get mad easier. So that's why our season be a little bit more spicier.
Okay, I know Astro. Astro lives in Dallas, so he wants me to come see him. So I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna come see everybody.
Yeah, come turn up with us. I'll throw a big ass party for you. You come down here.
I will, as long as you give me that seafood. I'm still gonna get that
Yes,
seafood.
I will.
But it's been so great. I'm so glad we had this conversation. I'm so glad that we was able to, kick it.
Let me ask
Thank you
you a
so much.
question. Let
Hmm.
me put you in the hot seat and ask you one question.
Okay.
You watched the full season of Chasing Dallas season 6, right?
Yeah.
So if you was in Markel and Ondario's position, name 4 people that you would bring back for season 7.
Donnie, you, Mother, and Lamont. Because Mother had personality. Donnie had personality. He damn near was a show, and he actually had something to show. You had something to show, and you were well rounded. And who else did I say? Donnie, Mother, and Lamont. Lamont, and a lot of people do this, and I hate when people pick and choose because there's some people who come on these shows and don't show nothing, don't say nothing, but because they get away with certain things that they have. But Lamont, he is now showing his work scene that he's starting to step up just a tiny bit, and we get that he's not really as much as a like a Mother or a Donnie or like a you, but it's just like he has his work scenes. He actually brought in the A-list's child. There's been nobody from Chase. Well, there's been people. Some in LA, they live around Atlanta. They've been doing their thing. Some people in Atlanta, they've been doing it too. But out of the Dallas from season 1 to now, he has probably been one of the only ones that has brought in. Here's not a celebrity, yes, but somebody that is related to somebody who is an A-list. I'm talking about sitting down, talk to them,
Right,
get
yeah.
some dialogue from them. Like he showed his business, and some people starting to go up for him. So I'm thinking business, and I'm thinking about how to make the money back if it was a show if it was me. As a
Right,
friend of
right.
the show, I would tag Chloe, Kelly, and there's so many of y'all. Shit, I'd say probably Zesty because he was like the villain of the season. So that's like a well-rounded. Oh, and J Lo as like friends of the show or like special guests to come in once too,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
that's it. Because it's
Most
about business,
definitely.
and some of y'all that I named carried the show.
Right.
I'm
And
gonna
it's
be
in no
honest.
shade.
Some of y'all carried the show, and if I was in Dario and Markel, if they come back for season 7, the 4 people that I named definitely earn their spots and solidify their spots. It just is what it is.
Right.
That's how I
I love
feel.
that. I love that. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, it's time for us to go because I'm trying to figure out what I gotta eat. And you have a wonderful time with your son. Tell him I said hi and it was so good. You got my
Okay.
Instagram. You can hit me up anytime you want. Okay.
Okay, period.
Okay. I'm gonna keep supporting you, and I'm gonna reach out to you, see how you doing. I'm gonna make sure I come to Texas, but make sure I got that seafood,
I'm gonna make sure you have that seafood. Bring that ass to Texas.
and I need that seasoning delivered to my house.
I got you.
Okay. So this has been great. We are signing out, and see you guys soon. Thank you, Rio.
Love y'all.